coffee. I'm a little too type A for that or something. I don't know. Hi. I thought so. Egypt. Like in Egypt. So I thought I'd pick some poems that I've written about coffee. Coffee. Sorry, I'll stop. Sorry. This is first one. It was read at my first Beach Poets feature back in '05. This is called David. When I know you're not going anywhere in the morning, I get dressed, brewed some flavored coffee, put it in a thermos, and bring my book to that hut on the corner of San Luru Avenue. The coffee tastes good in that Florida air. It's just chilly enough to open your eyes, and I sit there and I write, usually about you, and I wait. I know you're a late riser, but within a half hour you're there. Empty mug in one hand, drawing book and pencils in the other, cigarettes in pockets. You look tired, but I'm awake. I used to fear for your life, you know, when you were messed up with the drugs, the gangs. I'd sit up nights wondering why you didn't call. I'd wonder if you were dead. I'd wonder if you were just beaten up, bleeding in a subway, trying to hold your ribs in place. It hurt to care from 500 miles away for someone who couldn't care for himself. I'm glad you straightened yourself out. Or, I'm glad you almost did. I remember being in your car, driving back from Tiger Tail Beach. My skin felt itchy from the salt. My feet were sticking out the window, pressed against the rear view mirror. I think you were holding my hand. This was after you told me that you wanted to marry me. You never asked me to marry you. You just told me that's what you wanted. I should have expected that from you, but you always surprised me. I remember thinking that we could never get along for any reasonable length of time. You didn't want to leave Canada, I didn't want to leave the States. You wanted to backpack around Europe. I wanted to get a job, an apartment, some security. Vacationing here at the tip of this peninsula seemed to be the only place that we would ever meet. But even though my skin hissed from the salt and the sun in that car with you, I felt like we could go anywhere. I looked in my purse today. I found that box of Swan Vestas matches. You bought them at the tobacco shop near the mall in Naples. You asked me to hold them for you. I couldn't understand why you bothered to buy matches. Maybe you just get matchbooks anywhere. But I must admit, they looked good when you lit one of them. The box was so big. No American would want matches that big. You always struck the match in that box 3 times before it would light up. He made an art of lighting a match, and he made it seem like a pleasure. And when I think of coffee, that smell of coffee, I think of you. And I always like the smell of sulfur, like those matchbooks. I'm glad you forgot that box right now. This one I've never read anywhere before. I wrote it just after I found out that the chemo wasn't working and my mom was going to die. Called Drinking Coffee. I don't like coffee. If you were going to, when asked to give a one-word description of it, I might say, horrendous. I think the smell is bad. My husband makes it too strong. He tries to stuff in as much bad taste and smell as he can into 1 cup of caffeine. Well, my parents make coffee in the morning. They make Kuypers grade, my grade, as you would call it. It's not that strong. The taste isn't that bad, if you have to drink coffee. But the only time I drink coffee, other than when it's spiked with a ton of liquor, is when I'm in Florida, especially on days that aren't too sunny, maybe a little windy, and having something warm while watching people play tennis at the public courts in the morning would be a nice treat. I remember doing that in Florida, maybe going for a walk first and having my usual breakfast of a toasted bagel sandwich with tomatoes and alfalfa sprouts. sorry. I like bagels. You know, some sprouts are supposed to reduce cholesterol. The tomatoes in Florida aren't the best. But after going out and seeing that it's a little cool outside, I'd come back and get some coffee, pour in 13 drops of sweet and low liquid sweetener in it, because my mom kept this bottle of liquid sweet and low, and then I'd walk across the street and sit on the benches and watch people play tennis. Other people sit there too, so tennis players would switch turns, revolving on and off the court, so that everyone would have their turn playing. But otherwise, I'd be there alone, watching people play. And I'd watch the steam from my coffee cup rise in the Florida atmosphere, where here, the coffee tasted a little milder and a little sweeter, and it wasn't a burden to drink near my mom once again. This I read in a feature that was filled with videos called Sexism and Other Stories. Apparently this is the other stories because it's not about sexism. This poem is called So. And the only reason why it's called So is because they say so between the times. So the hotel I was in didn't have a continental breakfast. So I looked for a diner for a bagel for breakfast. So I pulled into some dive and I just sat there. So I kept my head down. I don't like looking at strangers. So I kept my head down looking at my writing. So I didn't even notice. My head was buried in my words. But a lady walked over and dropped the bomb of liquid into the coffee cup, into my upturned glass. So I watched the black mass sloshing around, contained but violent, as she walked away. So I don't like coffee, you see, and I could have stopped her, said no thanks. But this was my fault as much as it was hers. So there I was, staring at this coffee that I don't even like. So I've got this Bailey's flask in my pocket. I guess I'll tell you something about me. But if I was going to actually have any coffee, I'm going to sweeten it with whatever I can. So my eyes start right, then left, then right again, making sure no one's watching me. So I open the flask under the table, then slowly drizzle in the cream. So I watch it form a mushroom cloud from within that contained bomb. So I try to remember where I am, where I've been. I didn't know that on the other side of the country, you had just died. So I just looked at my coffee that I don't even like, and wondered if I should drink.
Okay, and now for the debut poetry reading by John.
And just so everybody understands, the coffee that I make is a lot like the coffee we have here. And the coffee, the Kuypers grade coffee tastes almost as strong as a weak cup of tea. So if you like green tea, I like the coffee we make.
Okay, we could be mean to each other about coffee now. You're the best, because you're on the stage, you can say whatever you like.
That's right, I've got the mic. Shut up. Stick the poet. This first piece is written from the perspective of a person in pre-World War II Normandy, or pre-E-Day Normandy. It's called One by One, the Beech Trees. I have lived in this grove all my life. The beautiful trees have always lined the roads. The beech trees even lined the drive to our home. Everything was blooming by the end of May when you came in from the coast to our home, and the war didn't touch you. I could hear noise in the distance one morning. He told me some trees have already been felled on the general field of Marshall's urgent orders. Rommel was sure an attack was imminent. They couldn't leave trees for the enemy hideouts, and so they fell our trees one by one. Looked out the front door, saw our stripped land, those trees had souls. The hill of horns. The loss of a species with roots in his land longer than we. They didn't do this everywhere. I hear they left some trees in the fields, so wider ones would be destroyed while landing. What lives are worth saving, I thought, as the soldiers continued doing their job after the beech trees fell. This next piece is a little bit more recent. It's a little bit more real. It's written by Advanced Corporal Rojas, and it was dedicated to Corporal Kearns and Corporal Reyes. It's called Call Our Fallen. Walking the streets of Africa, these massacres occur so unexpectedly. The other night, some Marines died, never to be resurrected. Everyone's got a day and time. Nothing in life's perfect. Their families cry. These are the times we see life in perspective, the purpose for the hurting. These modern day disasters, I wish that I could call it. I feel no one would ever answer prayers for the dead, but they live on. As we continue fighting, these are my brothers. This is my family. We stand united for all Marines who witnessed death but just couldn't escape. May the Lord's angels give you peace and guide you to his gates.